1 month has passed since 1.19 came out. We've all played with the features, but now is the time to rate how good they actually are. We're going to be using the scientific 5-star method, and we're going to be going through exactly how well they fit into Minecraft. We're going to be thinking about how much fun and depth they really add to the game, as well as how much the overall design still sparks joy with a month having passed. You know, the novelty is worn off, but are they good features? Let's find out today. In case you're curious, I am still, I don't have a proper setup as I record this video, so I'm just in my kitchen. I've got a painting of a cow that I put behind me so that it looks like there's some depth. Wow, isn't this a professional setup you have? Wow, makes me want to subscribe. Wow, you can do that using the... It's on screen right now. And you know what else you can do right now? You can think about the frog light, which is the feature I'm going to start with, because this was one that I was sure was just a novelty. I saw the frog light and I thought to myself, well, this doesn't really fit into Minecraft. It feels wrong. It feels like something they have to work on some more. But ultimately, even though it felt like it would be really hard, and it is a little bit on the hard side for a block to get, it is a beautiful block that I'm still amazed by, because it does have a challenge to get it and it does have a great reward. I love the frog light. I think that the fun and depth of it isn't that great, you could argue. I mean, it's a light that you can get, but the way that you obtain it is where all the fun comes from. It is hard to make a magma cube farm and then to get frogs near that magma cube farm and then some collection system or just manually doing it, and let me tell you, I've tried and it's gone terribly. And so as a result, I would have to say that if we think about the overall design of the frog light, it works great, and it's a 5 out of 5. We're going to start strong out of the gate here. I think the frog light is a model feature. It's a great feature, and honestly, I would say that it brings the frog up, because I would say otherwise the frog, if you look at it without the frog light, it's just another one of Mojang's attempts to make an ambient mob. But this update, they finally broke the mold they've been in for so long, and they added a new mob that was just there for ambience, because there are frogs in the real world, so why shouldn't there be frogs in Minecraft? And they decided to make it fit into Minecraft. They decided, just like how the cows drop leather and the pigs drop pork chops, a great food, and even the rabbits drop rabbit feet, which can be used for potions, we have a mob which actually has a use beyond that. I mean, it's got the cute mating cycle, it makes tadpoles and frog spawns, and it's got the cute, you know, like fitting in terms of it. They're just adorable to look at. Look at the way they walk. I love it. But it's got all of that. But then the frog light means that it's actually pretty good. Admittedly, it's only one, you know, use for this, and it's a very tricky thing to pull off. But still, the frog is a 4 out of 5. They did a solid job on this, in my opinion. I also think, while we're talking about mobs, the ALLAY is what we're going to have to talk about next. By the way, I don't know how I'm meant to speak into the microphone I'm holding right now, just like how a lot of people probably don't know how you should really use ALLAYs. I mean, sure, we, the community, did vote for this mob. Do you recall that? I'm going to check the... Yeah, okay, yeah, it looks like the microphone's going well. We as a community did vote for the ALLAY. That is just a fact of statement. However, the ALLAY feels like it was never going to fit, because unlike most mobs, this is one that is specifically helpful to the player. Even a dog, I mean the adorable helper that everyone loves, starts life as a wolf. The ALLAY is just purely a friendly mob. It's an ally of yours, you could say. And so, you know, the way it was going to fit into Minecraft always felt like it was going to be strange, and a lot of people do have criticisms of it really not being that useful all the time. But personally, I think these people have just never done a destruction project. If you've done something where you're destroying a ton of blocks and you destroy them but they land somewhere else and you don't always pick those up, it can be frustrating to lose some of those blocks. Having an ALLAY around means you never will lose them. Sure, there's probably some annoyance that comes from all the things around that, but personally I'm a big believer in saying the ALLAY is a good mob in terms of its design. It's a good mob in terms of the fun and depth it adds, because it's cute for just destruction, but also you can use it for these deep, complex, automated item sorting farms. And the overall design, it's pretty cute. I think it's not perfect. It feels like something's wrong with the ALLAY, maybe when it's got breeding and we've got like proper ways to deal with it. But for now, I'm saying the ALLAY is also a 4 out of 5 mob, which is good. I mean, I would say 4 out of 5, very respectable. The mangrove swamp, on the other hand, I mean, this biome feels amazing because it's new. It feels like a wonderful place because it's got some new trees in there, and it's the only new biome above the ground in this update. I think that after the update came out and you started to spawn in mangrove swamps, you started to play in them, you realize very quickly, like, oh yeah, this is new blocks, but once those new blocks wear off, this is not a very exciting biome. I mean, if you think about how well does the mangrove swamp fit into Minecraft, kind of well. It feels a bit awkward. You know, climbing on top of them is kind of fun sometimes, but walking through them, I don't feel great about. It feels very cluttered and clouded, and maybe that's the point, but I don't like it at the very least personally. The fun and depth they add to the game is, well, it's the features inside of them. What fun and depth do you get from the Mangrove Swamp? I guess it's harder to get boats and boat chests through here, but do you need to do that? They spawn near the ocean. You can go around them in most cases. And so, what is the overall design like? It's well put together. This is like its only point. It is a pretty biome. It's prettier than, say, I don't know, the birch forest. And so I would say the Mangrove Swamp is a 2 out of 5 biome. It is the only redeeming factors are the other features, like, you know, the mangrove wood. If we talk about mangrove wood, mangrove trees, mangrove, we'll group all of these things all together in one. Even, you know, like, if we talk about all of those things, I would say that mangrove wood is a stunner of a block. And when it first came out, I would have said that it was a 6 out of 5. It's such a good color of wood. It's what we, the community, wanted too. Like, this is a case of them listening to us. It originally was going to look like jungle wood, but just slightly worse. But they finally decided to have a unique, strong color of wood that technically matches the real world. That's right, they picked a good color, and then they made sure it matched the real world later, even if only in some cases. Love that. And I also love the fact that it can be used, you know, this is a shocking one, it can be used to make kebab stands. The mangrove wood, even after all this time, is a 5 out of 5. I think that, honestly, it just makes me look at other woods and be like, oh, I wish you were all like mangrove or birch. But still, mangrove ups the game. It's a brand new type of wood. It has the whole palette that comes with it. And even now, I think it's one of those small features. It can't have taken that long compared to adding the deep dark. It's a small feature, but it changes a lot, in my opinion. Speaking of things that change a lot, you know, I might be living in a sad kitchen by myself, but I've got Mountain Dew Major Melons, so wow, my life is going well. I've been talking for a while, so let's enjoy a sip of this beverage while we go through a word from our sponsor. Did you know you can buy a mug that tells you you're gonna die someday? I don't have one of these mugs because I'm in a sad apartment with no furniture, but you can get one at ibx3cat.store. You know, it's a great, you know, actually, wait one sec. And just like that, now my shirt matches my drink, and I guess vaguely matches my painting. I think it matches my painting a lot less. It's a good painting, right? You just have to go into a store and you can buy some art. Like I don't think an artist ever actually painted a cow. I think someone just printed an image of a cow off the internet, threw some extra paint strokes on there. But I like it. Just like how I like the mangrove wood, but it's not the only thing I like, you know? Would you believe it, but there are other features that I like in this update, like the, in my opinion, the boat chest. The boat chest is such a simple idea. What if we took the chest, which can currently go in minecarts, and we put it in the boat? Wow, that is a good idea. And I think it's really handy in the early game. I think it's cool for tech. Again, it's got that late game expansion that you can use to make weird hoppers where 4 hoppers come from one chest. There's loads of fun things you can do with boat chests for both early games and late game players, you know, super technical down the line, which is a real sure shot. I mean, it fits into the game thematically too. But honestly, it raises more... Sorry, it's so rude, you know, it's terrible. But it raises more questions than it answers, because think about it. Riddle me this, why don't you? Why is it that we can have chest minecarts and then chest boats, and we can have minecarts and we can have boats, but we can only put hoppers inside of a minecart? Why is it that we can put a command block inside of a minecart? Why don't we have TNT boats? That's all I'm saying. I think having a boat and having TNT with it and then shooting it with a flame arrow or something would be incredibly fun. I don't know what it'd be useful for, but you know, I'm just saying that it's one of those inconsistencies, I guess, which, you know, we love to talk about here. But yeah, that's my only issue with the boat chest. Otherwise, if we just think about it and we ignore the questions about minecarts, we ignore the questions about why does this work and this doesn't, I would say the overall design is cute. It's simple, it fits into the game, and it's one of those features that is great because the design, you know, the implementation wasn't hard, the design is the hard part, and the design is going to be really versatile for the rest of time. Maybe we could say, just like how we could also say that it's a 5 out of 5 design. I think we could maybe go 4.5 stars out of 5 for the existential quandaries that it makes me have personally, but we won't go with that for now. Instead, we'll talk about mud bricks. I know I forgot about mud bricks in my Let's Play where I collected everything. They're like the easiest block to collect, although it feels a bit weird that you need wheat to craft the packed mud. But, you know, if we ignore that for now, I think that the mud brick, as far as the how much does it add to the game? A little bit. It adds a brand new building block to play around with. That's good. I like the mud brick. Big fan. What else does it add to the game? Well, you know what? It's a new reason to go to the swamps, and it's a reason to put some mud, and it's a good reason to have these water bottles and the dirt and it's a good thing. Trust me, that if there's one thing you can take from this video, it's that mud bricks are a good looking block, and sometimes that's enough. I think that we can't say it's a perfect block because it doesn't fit perfectly into Minecraft. It fits pretty well, but it feels a little bit off. It doesn't necessarily have fun or depth. Does it need fun or depth? No. And so overall, I'd say the mud brick is a 3 out of 5. I like it. It's a fun enough design. But is there a real unique thing here, or is it just a new palette? And if it's just a new palette, then maybe we could have pushed the boat out some more with something to do with this, because it's not an early game palette. You wouldn't want to use it in the late game either. It's just a new set of blocks for creative players and for people who are trying to do something quirky in survival. Maybe that's everyone. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding, but for me, it's a 3 out of 5. Just like how the Warden, I mean, get a load of this guy. I mean, we've spent months killing him in creative and saying how boring he is, but this is the thing. As soon as 1.19 came out, I knew this before, but it really was true afterwards. So many players got their hands on this guy for the first time and realized, oh my god, is he terrifying. It is a monster that is designed not to be killed and is correspondingly powerful. There is loot around him which you need to get, but he might spawn in, and the fact that the game shakes and the music comes in and the darkness fades away your screen is so intense, and I love it. I have to say, I absolutely love it. I think that the Warden, we could... I might almost knock down this painting soon. You know, do we even need a painting for this video? What if the cow was sideways? That would be a big addition, huh? Wait. Look at that. Cow is sideways now. This is the set design effort I put into these videos. Just like how the design for the Warden was sublime. I was going to say subprime, but that's like bad. It's sublime, and it gets a 5 out of 5 from this lime. I don't know why, but I do know why. That British people are called limey, because apparently we didn't like scurvy, and so we used to carry citrus fruit, like lime, aboard vessels, and so I would be quite limey, just like how the Warden is sublimey. Speaking of sublimey, the ancient city is controversial to talk about. A lot of people really will die on the hill that the ancient city is a boring place to be. It should have had more in there. And I do agree to some extent. They're like, yeah, this is the biggest structures Minecraft has ever had. Are they unique enough to want to go into more than one and go again and again and again? Just about. The overall design, however, is amazing. It's on a whole other level. The first time you go around, it feels stunning. It's a brand new biome, basically, for this whole, structure. It's a structure which exists and which is terrifying to walk around because you might activate the Warden. You actually have to sneak around this. It's the first stealth element you've really had to worry about in Minecraft that can't just be overcome with netherite armor, and I love it for that reason. The ancient city might feel a bit jarring. It might be a bit rare. It might have some issues in terms of, are you going to want to explore more than one? But as far as that initial exploration value it adds to Minecraft, as far as the loot that you're going to need to get at some point in your Minecraft world, Ancient City, absolutely amazing. It is a 4 out of 5 for me. I think especially the way later on they added more and more stuff you might not have known about. And I think that it really is a great structure. I love it. I think this is one of those amazing things. I think we should have had, I'm not going to talk about cut content, but I think there's some things they had in mind for this that they could have added that would have made it a little bit closer to the very, very top. Some more unique, some more weird structures like the Woodland Mansion or the Bastion has. But personally, I think that we can forgive those and say it's still a 4 out of 5. Speaking of 5, you know what? There's a new music disc in this update, is there not? And I think talking about a music disc is hard to say because it's just another music disc. However, this one goes a step below that, step above that, step beyond that, perhaps we could say, because can you tell I'm not used to standing around as I make these videos? What do I do? Do I just look at you, the camera? Do I make an appeal to your emotion? What are you doing there? You watching a guy in his kitchen talk about Minecraft features, and then gameplay pops up every now and then? It's not my gameplay. I've been standing here the whole time. I don't vanish when I cut away to. Don't cut away right now. Why am I not here? Anyway, so Disc 5. I really like the way you find it. I think that a lot of people say that like it's weird having one music disc that's not that way, but I think it's really great because it encourages you, once you find one fragment, to go look for more. This kind of like exploration quest, you know, like you have part of it, is quite fun, but also Disc 5 is just some real nice music. Nice music we'll listen to now. The SCULK sensor is going to have to come up next. Also, I'm talking into a melon right now. It's my favorite Minecraft block. But, side note, why is it that in Minecraft, this is my favorite dumb thing, why can you take 9 melon slices and uncraft them back into... What sense does that make? You can't recraft a melon once you break it. I'm just saying, that doesn't make any sense. You know what else doesn't make any sense? The SCULK sensor. There is a lot of logical inconsistencies here, and I think they need to exist to make this a fun block. So if you just ignore all of the weird things about why doesn't rain activate it, why doesn't this, why does wool dampen it all the way? Wool, you know, putting carpet down doesn't stop the noise from people above me, because again, I'm in an apartment. Wow. Do you want to look above me? Do you want to hear their noises? But what you might not want to hear... this melon is heavy, by the way. This weighed like 11 pounds. I only know it weighed pounds because you have to weigh them, because you pay per pound here. You don't just pay for a watermelon. You know, imagine if fast food places were like, yeah, we'll just charge you 25 cents per cup, and you know, you have to work out the rest yourself. It would be insanity. But you know what isn't insanity? The SCULK sensor. It's actually a really well thought out block. I like that they managed to add wireless redstone to Minecraft in a way that fits. This whole new biome is a fun thing. It's got a detection based mechanism that fits in with the warden and all that stuff, but also then you can take the SCULK sensor's outfit and you get a really interesting block which can be used to detect all sorts of things, can be used to make super complex traps should you really want to. And so for the overall design, as far as how it fits and is it good for late and early, yes, the SCULK sensor is great. Does it fit into Minecraft because of the new biome? Yes, it does. And so overall, I think rating the SCULK sensor anything less than a 4 out of 5 would be unfair, would be uncool. And in fact, you know what? It's a 5-star system, but I'll give it 4.3 stars out of 5. How about that, SCULK sensor? The goat horn's gonna have to come next, though. Which you can, you know, the goat horn is coming next. It's cute. It's a horn that comes from goats when they ram trees, and I think the goat horn is a really weird one because it doesn't feel like a 1.19 feature, but it is, and it's a pretty cool one too. I mean, hear me out here, right? You can make noises like boo 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 boo. Can you edit that later so it looks like I did that noise? Wow, that is a good noise that I did with my. Do you want to hear my other goat horn impression? Wow, right from my mouth. I surely am impressed with this. So the goat horn Pretty cool. Makes some fun noises. It's a great communication tool with other players. I think that's fun by itself. I think it probably can be used for super nefarious purposes. You can annoy people all day with it, etc, etc. But as far as the overall, is a goat horn fun? Yes, it is. Does a goat horn add to design? Yeah, sure. Does it fit into Minecraft? Just about. It's a 3 out of 5. Let's not pretend it's the best thing ever. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. I think it's there, and I think it's interesting-ish. You know, it feels like a feature that's there, and that maybe one day will have its grand use. Maybe something to do with pillagers, because they make the same noise. Speaking of things that make noise, I think we have to talk about the whole SCULK family of blocks. Because, you know, the Deep Dark as a whole, I have to say, the Deep Dark as a biome is just... It's disappointing. It is a biome that feels like it is worthless without Ancient City. Have you ever wandered in one of these things, not seen an Ancient City, and just been like, oh, so it's a place where mobs don't spawn and there's a chance of finding the Warden. So I'm meant to enjoy this for some reason? And the answer is yeah. Apparently you're meant to enjoy this, which obviously you're not going to. It's terrible. What's the value early game of this? None. What's the value late game? Does it fit into Minecraft? By itself, no. If they added the Deep Dark without Ancient City, we would be rioting as to how bad it is, which is probably why it's a good idea we didn't get the Warden in 1.19. But if we had 18 months, 2 years, whatever it is, to work on the Warden in the Ancient City, why didn't we work on making the biome feel like a more interesting and rewarding place by itself? Sure, mobs don't spawn here. In theory. It's not actually true in practice if you play the better salmon edition of the game. But, you know, in theory, you know, it's a better place. But overall, it's awful. If there's a 1 out of 5 feature, this is it. There is no question about it. The Deep Dark makes me feel bad about everything that is anything. And so that leaves us with one last feature to roll into. Because, you know, we could... There's all sorts of, like, sub-arguments, like, is a frog spawn a unique item? Is a mangrove pressure plate a unique item? If so, it's pretty good. It's red, it's a pressure plate, it's 3 out of 5. I mean, I don't need to think about it, and that's enough for me. But I do need to think about reinforced DEEPSLATE. For real, we have all these arguments about whether the Ancient City portal, which is called an Ancient City portal, is it really a portal? I don't know, man. Of course it's a portal. It's called a portal. Is it an active portal the player can use or not? That's the question. But it does have a unique block, just like how the End City, the End Stronghold portal room has those unique blocks. Will those light up at some point? Will they be used for something in the future? Are they just an open-ended, we can design this later? Probably that last one. I like that they inspire theories. I don't like that there's no way to break them, but Minecraft has those, so that's kind of fine. Does it fit into Minecraft? Yeah, it feels about right. Even if you don't necessarily think that it's going to be a portal, it feels like an interesting little hole. The fact that you can't obtain them in any way adds to the mystery because they are non-removable blocks in your world. But right now, I have to say reinforced DEEPSLATE is a cool block, but we can't say anything because it doesn't really do anything yet. It is a block that has its value added later, and so my rating out of 5 is going to be NA out of 5. I mean, what does that mean? What does this video mean? What does it mean that I spoke to you for 25 minutes about Minecraft features and rated them out of 5? I mean, why don't we go and rate other things out of 5? I'll rate... by the way, it's funny, I mentioned that British people are called limey because we had limes on us with ships to not get scurvy, but I always do have limes with me. They're delicious. You throw them in any drink, you squeeze some lime juice on, it's going to taste great. Citrus makes your taste buds go, ooh, this is good. Unlike most things that people eat. I'm just saying, you're missing out. So limes are a solid 4 out of 5. Melons, I can't lift it with one hand. This is a 2 out of 5 fruit. I love when it's a really hot day and you've got some watermelon and it's perfectly chilled, but like cutting into this, like this can break someone, right? Like this, oh, that actually hurts, you know? What breaks first, my head or a melon? It's gotta be the melon, but I bet it does some damage to my head. So, you know what? It has some interesting design quirks, but it's just not tasty enough to justify the effort of one of these things. And you know what? In real life, you can't even slice it up and then combine those melon slices back into one. It's a fun idea, though. Should we slice a melon up and then tape it together? You know, probably don't want to upset people. You know, if I didn't want to upset people, I wouldn't have made this video, which is why I want to say thank you for watching it. Did you enjoy it? If so, maybe you'll also enjoy this great t-shirt you can get at ibxtoycat.store. I'm plugging my merch relentlessly. You might be thinking, oh, Toycat, you're just doing this because, oh yeah, you wanna. No. It is. You might be thinking it's all about the money, and it is. I like money. I use it to pay for goods and services, like Mountain Dew, Major Melon. And you know what? I haven't even had a lobster roll since being in the United States, so I've gotta up my game on that one. In fact, I'm gonna go do that now. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching it, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye. Thank you for watching it, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye. I don't even know if the microphone sounds good. The cable might not have even been in the whole time. Hope it was, though.